Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Guile here, and welcome back to another Supreme Commander Epic. It is 8v8. Yes, you heard that correctly. 8v8 business this afternoon for your viewing pleasure. This shall be Team 1 up here at the top. This will be Team 2 down here at the bottom. Let's check out Team 1 to begin with. Rearguard air position, if there is such a thing. In Pontiff White, to kick us off, it's Randy Savage, the Macho Man himself, in UEF. Opening first land. Team member number 2 for Team 1 to his south in lime green is Namplam. And I don't know why, but I immediately think of Napalm because it's spelled similar, obviously. I wonder if that is. Napalm, if that's you and you're still here watching us and you've just changed your name, fantastic to see you still about. If it's not you, then whoever you are, nice to see you too. Anyway, he's going UEF in lime green, opening first land. Team member number 3 in the middle on the second tier, the second row, if you will, it's Barg. Barg 6516. He's also going UEF, a little bit of a theme here, going first land. Team member number 4 in Hallyborange Orange to the north, our first Cybran of the day, it's Rageyes. And Rageyes is going first land. And then on to the front row in Spetsnaz Green to the right-hand side. We have faffing off another UEF. He's going first land, going presumably second air there next to the Hydro. Next up, team member number 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Sorry. Yeah, just said 5. 6 comes after 5, allegedly. It's Mevon, our first Aeon of the day, going double first land in Dijon Yellow. In Mellow Yellow, right next to him, another UEF. It's Twitchy Mofo. He's gone first land. And last but not least, team member number 8 in the season's fabulous Vivacious Violet. It's Spectre Slave 137 going first land, going Aeon. So that makes, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 UEF, 1 Cybran, and 2 Aeon there for Team 1. Let's check out Team 2, rearguard air position. We have Hyper 2001, our first Seraphim of the day, in Combat Green going first land. In Baby Pink to his left, another Seraphim, it's Waketha, and he's going first land, second air. Team member number 3 in Baby Blue, just over here, it's Ekotan, or Echotan. I want to say Echotan, because it sounds nicer. And he's going first land, going Aeon. In Regal Purple next is team member number 4 to the northeast. It's Friendly Foe, another Cybran. Not many of those kicking around today so far. He's going first land and then double second air by the looks of things. On to the front row now, just over here. In, what did it say? Fecal Brown, definitely. It's Bannable Offense. And he's going UEF, going double first land and then second air, or technically third air after that. In Burgundy Red, next up, just over here, it's McIntyre, another Cybran. He's gone, I'm assuming first land over here, I guess, and then double air, but it doesn't really matter. Next up, it's Ferrari Red Storm Style, another Cybran. He went first land, going land all day. And then last but not least, in Electric Blue, just over here, having already left his main base, it's Master of Seasons, going for a little jog towards the center of the map. He's gone first land. So, in racial makeup of Team 2, we've got 2 UEF, 2 Seraphim, long gap while I tallied up, 1 Aeon and 3 Cybran. I think I got that right. But yeah, so there's a lot of players here today. I'm not saying don't criticize me in the comments below. You are more than welcome to, but just know in advance that I am very aware that I will be missing things. You don't necessarily need to point it out because I miss things in a 4v4. I am more than capable of doing it in an 8v8. So yeah, that is the way of things, unfortunately. But anyway, so there we have it. What has ye old map generator generated for us today in its infinite wisdom? That, jeez, the serious quantities of reclaim on today's map. Big numbers too. Look at this. Look, we zoom in. It's Rock City. Absolutely bananas levels of rockage and reclaimage. So yeah, expect today's action to escalate relatively quickly. You can see already we've got transports coming up here. Who's that? It's Bannable Offense making a move to the top right hand corner, probably to get his hands on 1 or 2 mechs, but more than likely just to try and get as many of these stones in the bank ASAP. And Master of Seasons also pushed up with his comm there, getting himself a couple of mexes. And will no doubt want to plonk down some land factories and start spitting out engineers ASAP to try and scoop all of that. That is insane quantities of mass. In terms of the playing field itself, it's not very open. Really narrow choke points coming in here off this sort of weird squiggly central plateau section going from one side to the other. So yeah, it's going to be hard for these teams to break through into their opponent's territory. I suppose nice area for battles in here, a little bit in here, and of course this will be the main flashpoint, I imagine. Players to watch out for today. Bannable offense on Team 2. He's a 2100. Fecal brown chappy just over here, so look for the poo. And on Team 1, who's the top rated play, it's faffing off 1700. So on this side, so they've matched the two pros with each other up on this top right hand portion of the map. So look for that for the players. If either one of these two go down early doors, that might be a little indication that things are going their opponent's way. What have we got? Lots of upgrades on the way. So gun upgrade on the way for Friendly Foe. Gun upgrade on the way for McIntyre. It's probably McIntyre, not McIntyre. But there's no A in there. McIntyre would be Mac. So I'm going to carry on calling McIntyre, if you will. Gun upgrade also on the way for Mevon, who then goes to Shield immediately afterwards, but cancels that. In fact, he's already got the sensor suite on board, has our Mevon. And he's going to advance forward with his commander to just try and harass some of these inbound Mantis belonging to McIntyre, which are causing some problems on the front line for forward mexes. Little bit of a push through here, attempted a run by from Stormstyle, who wants to try and push deeper in. I don't even remember mentioning Stormstyle, but obviously, well, I remember the Ferrari Red, but I don't remember saying his name. Anyway, in case I didn't, Stormstyle, there he is, 1300. Bish, bash, bosh. Done. Completely out of order. A little bit of a push, as we said, by his Mantis, moving into territory on this left-hand side, belonging to Spectre Slave. Spectre Slave, whose comm is still in his base. He's been torpedoing or blowing up, detonating his redundant factories as part of his elaborate teching up cycle. Nice push on this bottom side as well from Master of Seasons. So we've had a push up through here from Stormstyle and a push from Master of All Seasons. This has been heavily harassed section of the map for Team 1. Spectre Slave moving out now with his commander. Who have we got here? So we've got Napalm. I was going to say Napalm. It's not Napalm. It's probably not Napalm. It's Namplam. But anyway, to force myself not to say Napalm. Namplam moving in to engage, but he's not going to save that forward T2 mechs, or is he? He does! 84 hit points! How could I have doubted you, Namplam? Mantis still causing problems from Stormstyle, and now meeting up with a bunch of other units from Master of Seasons. We saw them pushing up there. This is a solid push on the south side. However, we do now have T2 units on the field for Spectre Slav, or Slave. Blazes holding the line just about. He'd love to have an Obsidian or two in there, I'm sure, but he's got to work with what he's got. And the two commanders over here should be able to prevent this stack of units from pushing any deeper. Needs to get... He's got T2 engineers here. Could do a lot worse than maybe to throw down a point defense or two in this area, just to make sure this doesn't leak into his main base. He could do well without that. T2 upgrade, meanwhile, on the way for faffing off on the top side, just over here. That's his first upgrade, so he's looking more towards the defensive side of things, but a major base kind of springing up in the top right-hand corner for bannable offense. We saw those transports move up there in the early portion of the game. Lots of gun upgrades, nano repairs, and the like on the way for the ACUs of Team 2. These are all Team 2 ACUs in here, sitting in the center of the map. Team 1, much more reticent to push out, most of them sitting further in their territory, their own territory. Obviously, Namplam Spectre Slave kind of embroiled in defensive measures against this huge pile of T1 spam belonging to Master of Seasons. But we have got commanders rooted to the spot on upgrades. But yeah, going more defensive, certainly. T2 upgrades. We've had a T2 upgrade there for Twitchy. T2 upgrade still in place for, or on the way for faffing off. What did Ryguy's yet to start an upgrade. And Mevon, he's gone a little bit more offensive. One of the few on Team 1 who has. He's gone 2 gun upgrades, enhanced sensor suite and personal shield. And now advancing forward. Just looking to tickle the moustache of McIntyre's infrastructure up front. A few mexes here going to feel the wrath of that long-range Aeon ACU cannon. Let's take stock of where the teams are in terms of eco. Well, Team 2 are comfortably ahead in terms of generative eco. It's about 890-ish, 888, something like that. Oh, jumping to over 900 versus 774. So that's not a minor advantage. They're also up in total mass by basically almost 50,000 mass. That is pretty sizable. Are they up on Reclaim 2? Yes, they are, but by about 12 to 15k, something like that. So up across the board are Team 2 in terms of eco. They're also up in terms of map control. If you look at one of their players there, you can see that is the situation. All of the territory that Team 2 is sitting on basically looks to me at about 55 to 60% of the map under Team 2's control right now. Faffing off, engaging a few T1 spam units up at the top of the map. Did get himself a gun upgrade as well, so he's not gone completely defensive. Utilizing that ACU offensively as best he can. Mevon pushing forward though. One of the few ACUs for Team 1 that are. He's got some mobile shield gens. He's got himself a few obsidian tanks. He's got the personal shield gen, of course. But he has got a couple of hostile ACUs in the vicinity. McIntyre focuses in on some of those shield gens initially. Picks off an even song or two. How is Mevon going to react? Is he going to continue to press? He'll be aware now of friendly foes. ACU just on the other side of this stack here. Looks like he's electing to withdraw. Going to bring in a couple of gunships for cover. They lock straight onto friendly foes ACU. But in response, a handful of air superiority fighters come in and obliterate the gunships. The parashields have now largely been destroyed or depleted. Mevon, sensing friendly fire, in trouble here. It's going to keep his ACU in the vicinity and keep what gunships he had in play. Targeting that comm now with the obsidian tanks as well. McIntyre, though, coming in from around the other side of the stack. Friendly foe down to around 3,500 hit points. Mevon at full health on the main chassis, but down to about 1/3 of its shield health. He's now found himself a little bit pinned between these two ACUs. Friendly foe, who was in trouble, has found safety on the other side of the stack. And now Mevon might have found himself baited here. We've got T2 tanks from both McIntyre and Stormstyle. And Stormstyle's ACU as well. And T3 gunships, restorers moving in from Ekoton. Oh dear, I think we're going to see our first ejection. And it is Team 1 which is going to feel the pain. 14 minutes and 18 seconds. Mevon having got baited a little bit there by friendly foe going into the red. Got drawn a little bit too far forward. Ran into another ACU who didn't know was there. And then on top of it, those pesky restorers who almost made that look like a pit stop on their way to their primary target. They're now up here just picking off 1 or 2 units, and no doubt the odd factory or mass extractor. Just taking the opportunity to help kill off a commander on their way past. And that is not ideal for Team 1, who are already down on the eco side of things, and they still are. Generative eco, they are maybe about 100 mass behind, but in terms of total eco, they are down over 100k now. About 110k behind. That is a sizable difference. How much of the map has been hoovered up, that initial mass? We can see a lot of the big numbers have gone or been whittled down. So many of the rocks have gone. And in terms of reclaim, Team 2 have harvested about 40k, 42k more of that so far. And now with the power vacuum left by Mevon's departure, Storm-style friendly foe and maybe McIntyre might begin to press here. Handfuls of T2 units now belonging to Faffing Off, who has inherited Mevon's old base in the centre. Just trying to keep those ACUs at bay. Little forward base set up for Waketha. So once again, if we look at things from Team 2's perspective, they are sitting on more than half the map quite comfortably. That's the little line, the front line in there. We've got a forward base in situ. Interesting developments by the looks of things on the bottom left-hand corner, however. Bunch of Harbingers pushing further south here for Spectre Slave. Master of Seasons has set up a fire base in the basin. And in light of things, it doesn't look like Spectre is going to send these Harbingers in to try and dish out any damage. They certainly wouldn't get very far. There's a bunch of Percivals moving into this gap as it is, and I'm not 100% sure who's currently in charge of the air game. We've got a handful of Wasps and Geminis here from both Barg and Rygeyes. And then down here we've got Hyper, who's got a bunch of air superiority fighters. He seems to be the main air player. What is Randy Savage up to? He's got himself a T3 air factory, but there it is. No, it's not. What am I talking about? Hey, grey's similar to white. Leave me alone. That's Barg. So Barg investing heavily, as we saw those fighters a moment ago. He has really invested in airplay. Excuse me. That time of year when those little so-and-sos bring back all of the lurg. Tactical missile upgrade on the way for bannable offense. Tactical missile launcher up front for Waketha. That's not Spectre's first rodeo. He's got a couple of volcanoes in place, ready to disrupt those missiles. Percival's on the front line for bannable offense. Just taking some fire though from a couple of broadswords by or belonging to Faffing Off. 20 minutes in. And although Team 2 are in the ascendancy here and looking pretty comfortable, they're a man up. They're well up on eco. There's some 200,000 mass up now in terms of total mass. You do get the impression this is going to be a particularly hard nut to crack to get in here. Game that's definitely going to go the distance and require some big toys, some big nut crackers to break the enemy. Bricks versus Percivals and Harbingers. The combined forces from Team 1 here just getting pushed back with the help of this new line of T2 point defense that seems to be hastily erected. Also getting some Cerberus turrets being put up under here belonging to friendly foe. And is that our first experimental unit? Not necessarily. Might have been others. It's a GC. I would imagine there's probably a Monkey Lord kicking about somewhere if we're starting to get to the GC point, but not necessarily. Doesn't always work that way. Number of restorers for Echoton or Echoton seems to have multiplied. Going after some of these Percys now, but in come the air superiority fighters for Rygey's, issuing a clean sweep. And instead come the gunships from Barg and Team 1. Focusing in on the anti-air. Wise decision. Once all of those are obliterated, I'll go after the troops. Right, guys, bringing in what air superiority fighters he's got. Where are the escort detail? They're moving in. Ooh. Randy Savage on a transport nearby hostile fighter squadrons. Always a dangerous maneuver. Did we get a huge battle down here in the end, or did Master of Seasons back up? I think he backed up. That was what was brewing. Ooh, hello. So they've spotted that Hyper is building a nuke, but what made me go ooh was the sound of a nuke up here. Does that mean, is that what this was about? Randy Savage has got a Billy nuke upgrade. Yes, he has. You can see he's even brought his own engineer squadron to help speed up manufacturing of those Billy nukes. Always great for point defense. Can struggle sometimes though when the enemies are shielded, as they are here. Well, that seemed to tear right through it pretty well. GC in situ for faffing off. Was that... did he build that, or has that been gifted to him? Hard to say. Interesting developments on the front line in the centre, though. Fat Boy supporting a very nice formation here for Twitchy Mofo, advancing on this position down here. This was Waketha's old base, and I can see a large explosion crater right here. Was that the testing site for the first Billy nuke, I wonder? Did we miss that? But whatever, Waketha's forward base has been obliterated. McIntyre trying to get in around behind these units, but this is a very well shielded group of units. Seems like they're trying to take out these vulnerable spearheads and cougars, which they might well do, but they're going to lose the force in the process. Encroaching bricks coming up from the south from Stormstyle are going to have to turn around now. They're just going to take Fat Boy fire for no good return. Interesting little pause there. Eco situation. 3.3k generative eco now for Team 2 versus 2.5. That is not ideal. 2.23 million harvested versus 1.8 million. Very much not ideal. Huge numbers, of course, even though we're only 25 minutes in, but that's what you get from a large map with 16 players playing. Thought we were going to get some kind of movement down here in the southwest, but Spectre has arrayed a nice defense in front of it. Well shielded, good unit comp. Lovely squad of spirits, or spirit strikers, the sniper bots. But look at the infrastructural development over here from Bannable Offense. He does not want to lose this top right corner and the mass points and the territory. Got himself 31 SAM sites dotted about the landscape. Echo Tan bringing in some gunships to try and deal with this GC, but he's hopelessly outnumbered in the air. GC going to roll on up and presumably start tractoring some of these Percys. There they go. Woohoo! Still about a third of its health left. A lot of the Percys already dealt with. Now, this is interesting. Spectre posturing for a maneuver here. Maybe just concerning himself with the single file Zooey spam, which is coming in from this direction. Not really posing any great threat. Better to hold your defensive position up here. I don't think you're going to stand much of a chance of breaking through this. Randy Savage bringing his comm to Spectre's base this time and going after some of Master of Seasons units. It takes so long. And we are at -1 on sim speed, so if it seems like everything's running slower, it's because of the sheer quantity of units on the map when there are 15 players still playing. Wait for the haze to dissipate and see what the outcome was. Not that many units destroyed, but 5 or 6 Percivals critically injured in that blast, despite the shield coverage. Barg switching up to Janus fighter bomber production. Must have a specific target in mind. I do just want to check, actually, just see where we are on ASF count. We've got 80 there for Barg. And Ryguy's looks like even more. He's got 111, so we're about 200 fighters-ish for Team 1 collectively. Who was handling fighters for Team 2? So we've got Friendly Foe. He's got about 43. And then a big pile for Hyper in the south. He's got 156. So it's pretty much at parity, to be honest. Hyper also spitting out a bunch of fighter bombers. Of the Notha variety this time. And a big old pile of fighter bombers for Waketha. Have they just been gifted over? Wondered if Hyper was producing them all and then transferring. No, we have got dedicated Notha production for Waketha in this situ just over here. Meanwhile, the Janus we saw a moment ago looked like they might be going after the Fat Boy of Bannable Offense. It's a little bit vulnerable. Not much in the way of anti-air coverage. We have got some just to the north. Away goes the Napalm. They will break shield. Can they kill it on a single pass? It's not the most damage in the world. Will they get a second pass? No, they won't. Fat Boy will survive with about 8,000 hit points. Yeah, not ideal. Randy Savage relocating on his Continental. Every time it's a bit of a risk, but it doesn't look like Team 2 have recognized the opportunity. They haven't got a fighter squadron on standby to try and pick that off. Billy Nuke is loaded and away. What's the target? Looks like it's heading over here for this pile of units. Once again shielded. Oh no, don't park your planes there. Faffing off, trying to get out of the blast radius ASAP. There's quite a few T2 units in there. Did they manage to withstand the blast? Yeah, most of them. Shield coverage doing rather nicely. There, it would have been good to have a bunch of Janus to soften up the shields first, take them offline, and then Billy Nuke. Billy Nuke just can't get through those power shields, especially not when they're stacked up on top of each other. There are enough UEF ACUs, though, in play on Team 1. A little bit of communication and they could double up those, and then they really would wipe these out. Go away, old man, says Spectre Slave. Probably concerned about this. His own units have been forced right back to the perimeter of his main base. And just across the entrance to the plateau, we have the forces of Master of Seasons equipped with Fat Boy parashields and Percival's. Some of whom are still reeling a little bit from that last Billy Nuke. Speaking of nuke, Hyper launching an ICBM from his main base. It's a whole new dimension. Another Billy Nuke lands. Didn't see how many units were in the mix there. GC broadly unaffected as they are. Ooh, that would be a juicy nuke right in the center to open things up. Might be going longer towards the bases. No. Starts to fall. Twitchy Mofo gonna pay a big price for this one. Oh no. Mass casualties on the front line. Oh, it's interesting. Twitchy's claiming he heard no nuke sound. It's not unknown that you get a little audio bug here and there, so maybe he wasn't warned. Of course, if I was warned and it happened to me, that's what I'd say too. So who knows? This time the Januses do get their man. Fat Boy dies in a napalm fire, the likes of which even Muad'Dib hasn't seen. Fat Boy continuing to press forward, though, from further back. They might be picking off these units, but they're not really making any headway. And that nuke, that base nuke over here, which has wiped Twitchy's land army, has just opened the door for this. A trio of megaliths equipped with brick and banger support. Not a lot of anti-air, but there's some in there, enough to maybe require a decent number of gunships if that's what they were going for, and it would take a long time to chew through all those. Does Team 1 have any base nukes that they can use to repay the favor? Oh, wow, okay. So Namplam, stop saying napalm, Guile. I can't help it, Guile. Namplam about to complete his 5th Novax satellite. Where are they? Well, currently, they're on this side of the field, harassing Hyper and actually going after the SMDs, which makes me think that they do have nuke launchers in operation, or Operation 1. We're also getting Novax satellites under construction in the top left-hand corner for Randy Savage. So, stepping into standoff tactics now. Kill SMD, says Rye Guys. Okay, so they're going around the different SMDs, and I'm guessing, I mean, that could have been the result of Novax satellite attack as well. Might have missed a nuke. Answers in the comments section below, if you will. I'm not sure I'm going to get the chance to do a recap at the end of this one, regrettably. One Novax satellite. Go for this. WTH. WTF. Oh, wow, would you look at this. Saucy little teleporting support commander base just over here with TAC missile launchers. And what are they going after exactly? Not making an awful lot of headway. I think that maybe got spotted a little earlier than he would have liked. We do have a satellite from Team 2's side of things buzzing around the area. Where's that next nuke going and who's it from? It's out from Spectre, and that might be going on the front lines just to even things up a little bit. Indeed it is. Lovely little nuke there. There's a nasty Klinkhammer base brewing. That's a great target selection. Why risk losing it by going deep? Just make life a little easier. In come the broadsides and their little brothers, the Stingers. Clean this base up.
Strategic launch detected.
I do applaud Waketha though for the initiative. Always love to see that. Billy nukes still being used in defense, but this group of units is getting worryingly close to the main base now. Another nuke out from Hyper. Oh, would you look at the devastation all these Novax satellites, though, are having on the main base. Team 1 hitting back despite the fact that they're being almost outproduced, almost 2-to-1 in terms of generative eco. That is shocking. No wonder Team 2 are knocking on the door in the ground game. Trouble is, they've got some fantastic defensive measures in play. And of course the relief of the land causing problems too, but another nuke lands, oh, right by a newly constructed SMD. Hyper really causing problems for Twitchy here. Wonder if he got the warning sound, the klaxon this time. Didn't have his fat boy on the move, so maybe he's just having a problem personally. Massive air battle brewing as the broadswords are brought in to tackle the inbound Colossus. ASF's collide above, and it looks to me, on the face of it, like Team 1 have the measure of this comfortably. In come some whalers as well from Rye Guys. GC in range. Opens up his laser face. Taking a lot of ground fire. Sim speed now down to -2 as my computer creaks with the ancient Naughties technology. Another nuke goes off here, or lands. Probably another Billy nuke, I believe. But the GC is finally tackled. God, it's absolute bedlam in this game. Megaliths on the march, pushing up on Twitchy's main base. Meanwhile, the Novax satellites look like they're going after Bannable Offense, who is caught transitioning between shield gens. He's down to 6,700 hit points. Just brutal. Checking back in with the action over here. The broadswords have been brought in. There's so many experimentals in the area. Move pings going down on Spectres waiting GCs. I'm imagining he probably wants to keep them as close to shield coverage as possible. Air control in the locality more or less secured for now. We do have waves of fighters coming in from Team 2. Escort detail lying in wait to counter. So many hit points to chew through on the megaliths. They're getting some assistance from the guarding GCs. Who's that nuke out from? That's out from Spectre Slave, who's got to surely warn his teammates to get the broadswords out of there. It's not going to take long for that ICBM to traverse the area. That chicken goes down. Just 2 megaliths remaining. The broadswords are finally on the move. How many of the bricks and associated spam are going to get caught up in this? Well, that worked out really rather nicely. But the 2 megaliths are alive. One on about 9,000 hit points. The other on about 31,000. Spectre cancels his upgrade. I think he was working on RAS. McIntyre out in the wild, unshielded, and the Novak satellites just pass right over his comm and don't stop. Complete missed opportunity by Namplam there. Wow. That could easily have been a dead ACU. But Namplam probably concerned about what was going on here. Chap right in front of him. His base is under siege. Novak satellites now going after Waketha, who's just moving from shield to shield. Pretty comprehensive shielding, though, has gone up across all the bases on this side of the map as these satellites have begun properly terrorizing the area. I'm wondering, did we lose the Novak satellite? We saw one satellite in operation on the other side of the map for or from Bannable Offense. That looks like that's been taken out now. I don't know if they've got any more. And we've got artillery raining down too. So a really interesting shift from Team 1. They seem to have moved or shifted to standoff tactics quicker than Team 2, relying on the shape of the map, the relief of the land, to keep superior land armies out. Kill-loss ratio really tells the story here. Look at Team 1's combat efficiency, and it has to be because they are being outproduced 2-1 in terms of eco, but they are winning better than 3-1 on the ground, which is what's keeping them in it. Just wow. Fantastic defense from Team 1 here. And now the Novak satellites, and I'm presuming with all the UEFs, is it Dukes somewhere? Where are these? Oh, we have got another satellite from Bannable. Where are the artillery pieces? Another nuke out, probably from Hyper. Yeah, there we go. Dukes, called it. 2 Dukes, or 1 there at least, soon to be 2. But if they're coordinating well, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 Novak satellites. They're not all targeting the same thing, but at least 7 of them are moving pretty much as one. And the Dukes, whoever's operating them, I think it's Barg, seems to be trying to sync up. They seem to be going after the SMDs as much as possible, but I haven't seen them try to launch any base-to-base nukes as yet. A little bit of a stream of Zui spam just coming this way from Waketha. Not going to stand much of a chance against the shielded front line and the Cerberus turrets, but I suppose it's a distraction if nothing else. But look at this. The situation here really hasn't improved that much for Team 1. They could do with another nuke right in here, really. Don't know if they've got one ready. Let's kill their arty, says Twitchy. So there's that arty coming in the other direction? There is. Seems to be coming from down here. We've got more Dukes, this time from Master of Seasons. He's also got a Novak satellite. Looks like he's just launched it. Sim speed still at -2. So although the clock sitting at 36 minutes, you might be here longer than expected, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for that. Hope you're not too aggrieved. And you can always let me know in the comments if you are aggrieved. Nothing much I can do about it unless you want to buy me a new computer. And while you're down there, love, smash the old like button. It's good for my ego. And at my age, it needs all the massaging it can get. Another nuke out. Where's it from? Where's it going? It's out from Spectre. Ooh. Is it close fire support? It is close fire support. And if they get enough nukes together, you just get the feeling it's going to be nigh on impossible for Team 2 to break through here. I mean, if you can't do it when you're outdoing your opponents 2-1 in mass production, there's not really much chance of you doing it at all. Oh, and the Dukes are now getting rinsed and roasted by the Novaks. Master of Seasons base shields not holding up under the pressure. Just too many. Down goes one Duke. Down go a bunch of reactors. Is he going to be having power problems to boot? No, he's got lots of redundancy for the moment. Do you know what I'd like to see? And I don't know how it would be implemented. But I'd like to see some sort of unit. Maybe it's quite an expensive unit. Maybe it's a one-shot, like, field rail cannon, rail gun, or something like that. That will act as a mobile SMD. Just so that once you've got an army that's big enough together, you can stand a chance of breaking into someone's base. Because it's just too difficult. At this stage in the game, ground warfare becomes almost an impossibility, even when these guys are as ahead as they are. Admittedly, it does feel like they're implying or employing Russian doctrine here, and just to hell with the casualties, just keep throwing units at it. But there should be some sort of counter to it, some way to mitigate the power of the ICBM. One disruptor that seems to have drawn the ire of the Novaks. All of the big beasts, the megaliths, have gone down. Just a couple of weak fat boys that are in danger of getting caught here by a Monkey Lord and a couple of Harbingers. This attack definitely petering out from Team 2. But they still have the majority of the territory. Team 1 confined to its top left quadrant with all of their main bases. But with the exception of Mevon, we're intact. I can't believe we're 40 minutes in and we still have 15 players in this game. Wow. It's been quite a defensive game on the ACU front. Mevon the only one taking a chance, getting baited in by friendly foe, and it not working out well for him. Handful of strat bombers. What are they going for? Looks like they're pushing up towards Namplam. There are obviously a lot of Novak centers in here, but only 4 strat bombers remain, and that's not getting through the shielding. And they're not getting another pass either. That's the thought that counts, I guess. What's going on down here? You see the ring of engineers and you say, what's in that ring? In a completely
strategic launch detected,
clean and unambiguous way. What it is, it's a giant Yolona Os, which does look a little bit like a hole from above, I suppose. The green starfish of doom. That is going to be interesting. Proper game ender. Probably the first one. Seeing any... Oh. A teleporting support commander. Looking to mess things up. Oh! Novak satellites on their way past friendly foe. I was distracted. Distracted by the thing. What is the thing now? It's being pinged. I have to go back to the thing. That's so annoying. -1 sim speed still. And it's just a support commander anyway. It's the thought that counts. But friendly foe picked off in his base. That was under shield coverage. All of this had infrastructure in it a moment ago. That horde of Novaks just casually passing by. Saying, a comm! We missed one earlier down here. Incinerate it immediately. And they do. It's now a 7v7. Friendly foe of 1400. Not the biggest chap. The biggest target they could have scalped. But they'll take it nonetheless. Now going after bannable offense. They'd love to break this guy if they can. But all the while they're tied up in this, they are missing the biggest threat, which is now completed. Have they actually spotted it yet? No. They have no idea that any of this exists. There is no threat. They have not been doing consistent runs with the Novak satellites and the spy planes. They've been very busy elsewhere, and it's a large area in their defense to be concerned about. ASF fight seems to go well for Team 1 once again, who are now, look at this kill-loss ratio and the combat efficiency, 4.24. That might be the highest team combat efficiency I've seen yet in all of my years casting this. Might be, not 100% sure, but at 40 minutes into a game, you're kidding me. 4.23 versus 0.57. And is that the super nuke? Or is it a regular nuke? It almost looks too small to be a super nuke, but I think it is. It's ready to fire another one if it is. And if not, this is the first super nuke. We'll see how many anti-nukes it takes to stop it. Maybe this is just a regular nuke precursor to try and use up an extra anti-nuke missile.
Strategic launch detected.
There goes one of them. How many left in the SMD? No, that was a super nuke. And that's used 2 missiles. There are 2 more left in here. I'm not sure if there are any other SMDs. Do they have YOLO? Says Namplam. Yes, they do. Your problems are just beginning, my friend. And wisely, it looks like he's sticking with his target choice. And this is interesting. Spectre Slave, or Spectre Slav, yeah, Slave. I can't remember his freaking name. I don't know why. Spectre, so maybe it's because I've gone all woke and I choke on the word slave. It should not ever be mentioned. Maybe it's, do you think that's what's happening? Maybe. I'm being stabbed by some blue-haired lass somewhere. She has a just a voodoo doll with me. She's shoving a needle in my mouth. Shut up, Guile. Anyway, Spectre Slave is the target, and he's been pretty solid anchor point for Team 1 on this side of the map, guarding the southern exit. That's the Guardian that just launched a new missile.
Strategic launch detected.
And there's only 1 anti-nuke left in here. None left in there. I think this next one might hit, and if Spectre doesn't move his comm, it's quite far out, but I mean it's big, man.
Strategic launch detected.
And he's already taken some damage. He might not survive this unless he moves. He's getting out his own nuke. Lots of drawing going on. And, yeah, they've discovered it now. They went straight to look for it when those first ones started soaring overhead. And they found it, but that's pretty comprehensive shielding. And a lot of engineers which are going to be beefing up those shields to try and tank that area. But we've got a decent number of Novak satellites now from Team 2. Hello! That's going to make things interesting. A Mavor has nearly completed. Is that a nuke? That's a regular nuke. Oh, is this one going to land? That's going to land. Where's Spectre Slave? I'm not seeing his comm. His comm was there. He's evac'd somewhere, and it was a wise decision because his base is now incinerated. So much death and destruction. Boom, boom, boom. In slow-mo because we're at -2. Sim speed. That's very detrimental to Team 1's health. Wow. They've still got this base section. And they've still got some build capacity in the area. Where did he move to? Where's his comm? Oh, okay.
Strategic launch
He moved
detected.
up here. So, got given a Continental. Said, I'm being targeted. Help me out. Someone gave it to him. But the Mavor is online. And what's its first target? Surely you've got to take that with the... with all the Novaks, you've got to try and take out the Yolona. I mean, that's got to be it, right? I think you're mad if that's not your priority target. Oh! Oh! Master of Seasons taken out by faffing off. Down here in his main base. And I'm not going to be able to show the rewind. That's so annoying. Answers in the comment section below, guys, if you were able to deduce on the mini-map what was happening there. Of course, never forget, guys, if you want to check out this replay for yourselves, I do always put the replay ID in the description below this video. I've been doing that for about 10 years or so. I resisted it for about a year. I was like, fine, I'll put it in. Oh, they've got to take out this Yolona. They have to. They've been putting up such a valiant defense. Oh, man. A regular nuke. Oh, missing the forward section and going after the eco in the back instead. Interesting decision. But you see, now that they took out Master of Seasons, who was the second highest rated player, incidentally, that really does take the pressure off down here, and it lessens the impact of the major nuke breach we had on Spectre's base in the south. There's nothing waiting here to push on up. Absolute carnage. So Bannable Offense was hiding some of his Novak satellites up at the top right-hand corner. And Rygey's, excuse me, sneaking in with a couple of strap bombers, manages to pick off 2 of those. Echo Tan wasting no time with his fighters. Moves in to hoover them up. How are these shields doing? They're doing pretty well. They are holding up nicely. Support commander's going pop somewhere. Spectre back on a transport. Teleporter for Barg. And it's utilizing all of his power right now, trying to get that teleporter complete. And there are defense satellites. Stone's throw away. You might need to cancel that, my man. The view from Bannable Offense is thus. They can see the comm there in the open. On an upgrade. Shields down. Is he paying attention? That's the question. He is paying attention straight to the shield gen. So we move back to observer view. Barg takes fire. Cancels? Or did he complete? He cancelled it. Is now going to make a run for the shield coverage. But I'm not sure he's going to get there. Oh my god! This one's blinked on. Go north, you're close to it. But there are engineers in the way. I don't think he's going to make it. No. No. Critical error. Into the red. Less than 1,000 hit points. Boom, baby! Oh, man. Bannable Offense gets another kill.
Strategic launch detected.
So, it's interesting they haven't broken through here, but what's interesting about it, I think, is because the Mavor's not targeting it. He's going after other things. He is taking out... Oh, he's... Hyper's right there. He's taking some fire. Maybe he was standing in amongst these P-gens. But I'm sure, I'm telling you, if he'd had the Mavor on there, there's no way the shielding is holding up. Not under all of this. I don't understand why they're not making that the priority. Not after this situation. Oh, what have we got here? More teleporting support commanders, maybe. They've got to be concerned about this. Another Mavor under construction. Oh my god, Randy Savage also falling foul of the Novak satellites, trying to make his way to some shield coverage, and he goes down. What is happening to Team 1? After the valiant defense they've been putting up all game, they're getting brutalized by only 4 satellites. You can think how many satellites Team 1 have been utilizing and causing problems with. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 satellites still in operation from Team 1. And that's Hyper's just gone down. So Hyper's just gone down. Novak satellites are the story here, it would seem. Absolutely crushing face. There's now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But still that Yelena Os is in play. So much iron cannon fire. GDI style. You love to see it. Bannable Offense. Trying to break through. They want to go after the SMDs, of course, so then the Yelena Os can come in on cleanup. They've got to prevent this. They definitely can't have 2 Mavors going online. But look at this. We've got 2 more SMDs just over here. Lots of shield coverage going up. I'm imagining that faffing off is maxing out his eco. He is. It's got to be utilizing a lot, trying to produce that second artillery. What have we got here? Still shielded, still doing fine. Napalm, or Namplam, stop calling him Napalm, Guile, but he's completed a Paragon, or has he seen a Para? Who's doing the Para? He's UEF, so it's not him. Someone has a Paragon, and I don't know where it is. Got an Aeon player in here, but you wouldn't put it in your main base. You wouldn't believe. You wouldn't imagine.
Strategic launch detected.
Oh, there it is! Oh my god, and it's already taking fire. The Mavor has crippled the shields. The Novak satellites are here. Bannable Offense is in this base. That'll be a nuke when it goes off. Oh, Bannable Offense might be going out. This might be it. This comm low on shield coverage. The Paragon has Paragon, and Bannable Offense is next. Interesting choice of location to build. He only had that just for a moment or two, I imagine, presuming Namplan was watching it closely. He's still alive. Some shields are blinking back on. They've bagged another Novak center. Bannable Offense taking fire now, down to 5,700 hit points. Gets himself inside a shield gen. This fire is unrelenting.
Strategic launch detected.
Still the Novak's fire, still The Mavor shells rain down. Bannable offense into the red. 2,800 hit points. One final shield, which is almost done. Stands between him and oblivion. A second one is hastily constructed. Now he's outside the last remaining active shield. Boom. 48 minutes on the nose. Bannable offense is out. And he was Team 2's star player. Second Mavor at about 60% complete. ASF's
Strategic launch detected.
kicking each other in the nuts repeatedly in the center of the map. Looks pretty even in the scheme of things. Novak satellites searching for their next victim. Namplam causing absolute havoc. You can see how the kill-loss ratio has dropped massively for Team 1. Oh my god, they're trying to build a second one. They've got to stop that immediately. Okotan moving towards the direction that Mavor shells are landing. No. You don't want that, Sonny. Turn around. He does have personal shield, so it's about 35,000 hit points in total on board that comm. Standing right next to those... I don't know why. This must be a misclick. Why would you be moving towards the danger? What is the issue here? What is your major malfunction, Private? What? So there's another group of satellites, or have they been gifted over? No, that's another group. Faffing off. And they pick him off. Actually, I don't think they picked him off at all. You can see the Mavor shell right where that detonation occurred. So it was the Mavors, or the Mavor that finished that off. But they're about to have Mavors. Second one very nearly done. And then they really can just tandem these two and go straight after the Yolona. This shielding will not keep out two Mavors. There's very little that will. Just too much firepower. And yeah, we've just had nothing on the ground since that last big push. There was no way in through the relief here, and the nukes' defense was too solid. And they've been drawn out into this protracted long-range battle now. 50 minutes down. There's an experimental bomber somewhere. I've heard it. Oh my god, there are a lot of satellites actually in Waketha's possession now. And it looks like they're going after Spectre and Namplam, who are desperately trying to get shielding up as much as possible. Another super nuke does land. Spectre Slave shouting, "Leave me alone, I'm just the little guy." I mean, he's not that essential to the fight right now, really. But Twitchy Mofo's base obliterated. There is Waketha's experimental bomber. That's going to weaken these shields more. And there's 3 ACUs under here with an awful lot of Novaks. They've been cornered up in this base. And that experimental bomber has a lot of health still. It's going to get a nasty pass from these fighters, but it could get another bomb away. Looks like it might do. It might have a chance of picking off Slave here. It gets shot down before it can drop the bomb, but is it going to land on Spectre? Yes, it is! That is calamitous. Namplam gets the kill because it took out the power grid. And that volatility explosion finished him off. Wow. And who's died down here at the same time? I don't even know anymore. I don't even know. Or maybe they didn't. And now Novak satellites have returned, and they are collectively returning to finally deal with this Yelena Os, especially before there's 2 of them operational, and they'll get a comm kill into the bargain once they manage it, because Stormstyle's ACU is in residence. This shielding is not protecting against 9 or 10 Novak satellites and 2 Mavels. It's just not happening, and there it goes. They could have done this ages ago.
Strategic launch detected.
They could have finished this off a while ago. But down goes Yelena, and he got 1 missile away. Right before its death. Speaking of death, Stormstyle bows out gracefully at the edge of the map. Namplam with another kill to its name. Where is the super nuke headed? That's the question. So who's left? Got Waketha and McIntyre. McIntyre's in here. Haven't heard an awful lot from him for a while recently. He is in possession of what is a sizable group, a sizable force moving up. But this is the last hurrah, I think, from Team 2. Spectacular comeback. 1 anti-nuke fires. Is that all they've got? No way! Namplam and Twitchy Mofo's comm very close to ground zero on this next one. It's going to take out all of the Novak satellites. Are you kidding me? This game. Look at the minimap as well. Team 2 still in control of all of this and still up 1,000 mass in terms of generative eco ahead of Team 1. Team 2, that is, if I said Team 1 initially, apologies. But both of the ACUs will survive. Namplam's base is in tatters. All of the all of the Novak satellites are dead. If only he'd managed to do that a moment before, they might have been able to save the Yelena Os and stay in this. But I honestly think this is going the way of the twin Mavors now. And of course, we've still got 4 Novak satellites that are based up here, I believe. Although I only see 3. There were definitely 4 satellites. Oh, we've got 5 in total. We've got 2 more down here. So faffing off, looking deadly. Another wave of strap bombers out from Rygar is determined to target this base that it seems to never die up in this top right hand corner. But the Novak satellites are slowly capitulating to Mavor fire, I believe. They might be Duke fire. Tell by the shells. I think no, those are Dukes. Dukes and Disruptors. Oh, but can they kill them before Rygar's base is obliterated? Absolute experimental and game ender madness. 1, 2 up here, but there are a lot more circling, so he's got more dotted about. 3 of them down here, currently being targeted by faffing off. I don't know who I'm going to give MVP to in this one. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. Comment section below who you think deserves the MVP. So many players and a lot of good plays from many of them. Support commanders doing stalwart, diligent work. Is that the same one? No, that got shot down. This is another one. Hunting for comms. It's going to get shot down too, though. Trying to use its chassis to cause some damage here. Hopefully take out a Mavor. It's not going to land in a key area. I think it's going to land maybe on a Novak satellite. Indeed it does. Yeah, they're just not going to be able to build things fast enough. They're still up 1,100 mass per tick. Team 2, Waketha and McIntyre. They've been up the whole game. Look at that. 11.3 million mass compared to 7.83 million mass. And it's looking like the 7.83 is going to win. Are you serious? Nerf Sats, says Master of Seasons. I mean, maybe. It's a tough thing because it's... Before, they were pretty damn useless. They were kind of a pointless thing. But they do seem pretty damn strong right now. Don't know, maybe... You can have a, like, argue for a cap on them or something. Maybe that's a potential nerf. I don't know how you would justify that. But yeah, why am I arguing to nerf anything UEF? I feel like I'm being disloyal. But anyway, I'd be interested to hear your takes. And so would the Balance team, I'm sure. They do seem very powerful these days. Maybe they need to be more expensive. A little bit of a desync, but I think we're near the end, so we're not going to worry about it too much. Closing in on 1 hour at 56 minutes. The sheer amount of artillery shells moving southeasterly. And yeah, it's just looking like a case of dismantling Team 2's infrastructure. Might take a long time, but... That's if they want to sit through it, of course. Torpcom out of water and kill with Sats. Kethers Com well and truly located. And those scout planes have been buzzing around for a while, so it really does tell you something about the SOCCOM head that's set in. Ah, here come the Torp bombers. I think he's already moving out anyway. Torp bombers from all round. Will they get there before he exits? That's the question. Looks like he's trying to just come straight in here. 17,000 hit points to chew through. Oh, wow. I think they've got him. Team Waketha has recalled from battle. Surrender is complete. And Team 1 somehow, Team 1 hold the day. Look at that difference. 11.7 million versus 8.17 million. In terms of mass killed, Team 1 killed 5 million mass worth of units versus 2.22 million. That tells the story right there. The difference in harvesting versus the difference in combat efficiency. Just wow. Exceptionally well played, Team 1. Like I said, I'm going to leave it up to you guys to battle it out in the comments as to who deserves the MVP. I can't really put a finger on that because there were a lot of interesting plays from interesting individuals. Let me know your take. I hope you enjoyed it, guys. Do check out the Patreon if you feel so inclined. It's $1 a month. Got like 130 something like premium content, no ads cast on there. So do go and check that out, guys. But until next time, stay well and stay safe. This is Guile signing out.